What's going on? Born for Sports. Salute New York Giant Nation. And folks, it's the New York Giant off season. We have passed Black Monday, and we did find out that Joe Schoen is returning to the New York Football Giants. So now we turn the page on that. Now that we know the fate on that situation, and we look to what's the most important thing about this New York Giant offseason. It is finding a head coach, finding leadership to bring these players, this collection of young talent, together and become who we want them to be, a franchise that is on the way up and out from the bottom. And I got some candidates, y'all. I got some candidates that I want to talk about. You know what I mean? My top 5 candidates on my list, And before I begin, listen, this is as important an offseason is going to be. Last year, I said, hey, this draft is the most important draft in New York Football Giants history, okay? And it was because we needed to find our franchise quarterback. Well, looks like we did, folks. Jackson Dart is our guy, and going forward, we have to make sure that we get the right leadership, the right football mind, and most importantly, the right program builder of a coach to bring this team back to where they need to be of respectability. And I got some candidates that I'm looking at besides the obvious, my top choice, that I would like to see get a candidate look. And, hey, let's go through it. Because us New York Giant fans, we have suffered long enough. We need to find that guy. And my number 5 on my list is Vance Joseph. Yes, 11-21 record as a head coach was not good. His first chance he got. But he has been a very good defensive coordinator this year and has helped lead a great defense to the number 1 seed of the Denver Broncos this year in the AFC right now. So, hey, he's a great defensive mind, okay? They had the best defense this season, and a guy that I think deserves a second opportunity after the first time, man. And he didn't do well in his first trip with the Denver Broncos as a head coach, but he returned to be a defensive coordinator in the last couple of years. Man, has he ever. That Denver Broncos defense is just a really good unit. And, hey, Vance Joseph, he's got a chance to become one of the best names in this coaching cycle. And I think with him, it's all about the key is his coordinators if he does get a chance. And I'm hearing about Davis Webb being a choice on that staff that might follow him to wherever he gets a job to. And, hey, he's been a very hot commodity and hot name as far as offensive-minded schemes and names that are turning heads around the league as teams are starting to actually interview him for head coaching position. So if he could bring him Davis Webb with them and work with Jackson Dart, who, by the way, research-wise has a lot of the same concepts as Kafka had, so it could be a smoother transition. Who knows, So, hey, let's see Vance Joseph get a look if previous candidates that I have on this list don't get the opportunity first. So my number 4 on my list is Mike McCarthy. Yes, Mike McCarthy is number 4 on my list. Some might think he should be higher, but this is my list and what I feel. Mike McCarthy is not a bad coach. I think he is actually a good candidate in this cycle, and I just think he's not the top choice for me because of where we are right now, okay? Mike McCarthy has a record of lifetime of 174, 112, and 2 as a career coach. He won a Super Bowl in 2012 with Aaron Rodgers. Yes, it was a long time ago, but he did. And, hey, I look at him in that Tom Thibodeau ilk. He's going to be a guy that will take you and build your program up from the hellhole it's at and been at and get you back to respectability. He'll win you 10 games. He'll win you 11 games possibly in some years. But can he get you over the hump? That's what my fear is. I look at him like Tom Thibodeau when he was with the Knicks. Thibodeau took us out of there. We are grateful to him for helping us do that. But it ran stale of getting to the next level. And it just couldn't go there. I think in 2 or 3 years, we might be saying, hey, man, we're going to have to move on from Mike McCarthy. I don't want to do that. This is an important cycle for the New York Giants to get right here, okay? They either get one of the best coaches, top 3 coaches in football for the next 3, 4, 5 years to get this right and get to that next level, or you get the guy that you know there's the young commander that can potentially get you to an 8 to 10 year run. I don't think McCarthy falls in those tiers. So he's number 4 on my list for me. And my number 3 is Jeff Hafley of the Packers, defensive coordinator. Now, he has that head coaching experience, but only on the collegiate level in BC. But I like what I've seen from Jeff Hafley. I like what I've seen the last 2 years in Green Bay, okay? And it's before Micah Parsons got there, okay? Last year in Green Bay, they were one of the best units in football, okay? They got to the playoffs, okay? Jordan Love is not where he needs to be, in my opinion, as a franchise quarterback. So a lot of the credit to me goes to the job of Matt LaFleur out there, but also Jeff Hafley's defense. And I think with the pieces in place, I think similar to Vance Joseph, the pieces we have in the front 7 with these pass rushers, I think Jeff Hafley will be a real good get for this defense. Now, I would have questions about who his coordinators will be bringing in, but I do like he's from the Shanahan tree as well. So, yes, I am in on that. I would not mind Jeff Hafley being a look and a candidate, a serious candidate on this coaching hire cycle if my next 2 choices are not on the board. And my number 2 candidate would be Chris Shula. Yes, Chris Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator. Listen, he doesn't have head coaching experience on either level, but I like the fact that he's been under that McVay tree since 2017, man. Hey, anyone on that McVay tree has done well in the league so far, okay? You look around the league, that McVay tree is really good and is around the league and having success. So I like that. And, hey, he's got a young nucleus on defense, okay? And they've been pretty good these last 2 years with those young players. Post Aaron Donald, who's one of the greatest players in the history of football on defense. And he's gotten that unit to be really good, okay? 8th in scoring defense this current year, and 13th overall in total yards. I think Chris Shula is a name we need to take very seriously as New York Giants fans, okay? He's that young, hot coordinator in this year's cycle. Last year, the hot coordinator was on offense. It was Ben Johnson. Everyone was after him. This year, I think it's going to be Chris Shula. I really do. I think he's going to turn a lot of heads and get a lot of teams to give him a look to consideration. And I would love to see that if my next candidate is not on the board for the New York Football Giants. And obviously the number 1 candidate is John Harbaugh. Give me John Harbaugh, New York Giants. Do that. He is the top candidate in football right now. Now, listen, candidates like this don't come around often, okay? They don't. He's that good. He's been 18 years with the Baltimore Ravens. He's won a Super Bowl over there. He's one of the best coaches in the league, the best program builders in the league. He has respect all over the entire league as a coach and as a man and as a program builder. And he is just what the doctor ordered for this New York Giant franchise, okay? And I know there's going to be some talk about, well, why did he end up not having it work any longer with Lamar Jackson? Well, he's been there 18 years in the same franchise. Sometimes, it doesn't work out, and it's just time to move on. Their front office moved on, and it was just time. And this is at the nick of time for the New York Giants to capitalize and get their guy. He is in that Andy Reid ilk. He is in that ilk. He is on one of the top candidates, I would say, in any cycle if he ever enters, and we are very fortunate to be in this situation to do it. Now, listen, New York Giant fans, it has been way too long. Way too long we have not been who we want to be and what we're used to being, and for too long. 10 years of this, it's time to get the right guy. Don't talk to me about age. Don't talk to me about he hasn't won a Super Bowl recently. This is our guy. This is our guy. John Mara. Tish. If John Harbaugh says to John Mara, I should say, hey, I'll come here, but I need Joe Schoen out the picture. Then you do it. You get rid of him. He's that guy. He's got that kind of cachet. in the league that you don't think twice. Now, if he does want to work with Joe Schoen, fine, so be it. This is our guy. Make it happen. We have suffered too long, New York Giant fans. It is time for us to get our guy, John Mara, Tish, make it happen. Because Lord knows, we all know that, hey, you're battling his health, John Mara, and we are praying for you to get that right and live as long as you can. We have suffered long enough as well. Let's get this right. Let this be your lasting legacy moment and move. New York Giant fans, salute. Let me know how you feel about this video in the comments about my candidates. And let me know if you have a candidate that you like to see being looked at for the New York Giant job. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and, most importantly, subscribe to Born for Sports. Let's go Giants.